Recovery and Wellness Center. This comes at a time when Georgia is funding over $90 million for behavioral health in the budget. Sierra Cummings is live on Central Avenue, where just a couple of hours ago, officials cut the ribbon. So, Sierra, how will this help our community?
Well, Laura, first, because of those budget cuts you mentioned, the resources are fewer despite the need being greater. But this old property behind me could provide a much-needed relief. This used to be the Friendship Community Center. It closed permanently because of COVID. Now it'll reopen with a similar mission, offer counseling, support groups, hotlines, and public meetings for all things mental health for free, whether that's suicide prevention or addiction recovery, both of which we know officials say have increased during the pandemic. We learned today overdose numbers in the Augusta-Columbia County area tripled this year. The local coroner and community task force reported where they used to see one overdose daily, they now see 3 daily. With $91 million cut from the state's behavioral health budget, advocacy groups say now is the time to get creative with outreach and maintain the outreach no matter what.
People's lives, people's quality of life depends totally on access to resources. To be able to set up in Augusta and have a place where people are welcome and can come with whatever it is that they are trying to work through, whatever their situation is.
And right now, there is no set deadline on when this will be open to the public. They're still trying to finalize some more details. Coming up here at 6 o'clock, we talk to other advocacy groups who help make this possible. Laura?
I know that the community center will make a big difference around here, Sierra. Thank you. A 17-year-old sex trafficking victim rescued during a raid at a Los Angeles party. Now officials are releasing just how many people were involved. More than 150 adults and minors were arrested at a massive underground party Saturday night. Partiers broke into a house that had been empty for a year. Officers found guns and drugs during that raid. Officials calling the massive party a super spreader event. After hundreds of restaurants closed in California, a superior court is siding with business owners. While the ruling does not allow LA restaurants to reopen, it does require the health department to explain the closing. County health officials argue closing outdoor restaurants is essential as the pandemic continues to spread. But restaurant owners are criticizing the ban on outdoor dining, saying there's just not enough data to show that is a super spreader for COVID.
Nobody has done any research into whether outdoor dining specifically contributes to a rise in COVID cases. The judge over and over again asked, what is the relationship between outdoor dining and ICU beds? And the county over and over responded, we don't have to tell you that.
The judge says if the county does not bring him that data, the ban on outdoor dining could end in a week. Taking a look outside over downtown Augusta, mild symptoms, but must have escalated as he is leaving a hospital there. Here at home and abroad, hospitals are reaching their limit. In some parts of Germany, officials say infections, deaths, and the number of people in intensive care are going up. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in Germany increased by nearly 21,000 today. The death toll rose by 590. The world's biggest retailer is now selling home COVID-19 tests. Walmart and Sam's Club have rolled out coronavirus testing kits, which cost between $99 and $135, so not exactly cheap. The kits take either a nasal swab or saliva sample, are then shipped off to labs. Walmart says the lab cost is built into the price, and you get those results within 48 hours after the lab receives the test. New scams are using two of the biggest names in technology, Apple and Amazon. For Apple customers, officials say robocalls are saying your iCloud account has been breached. For Amazon, the call might be about a lost package or an order they couldn't fulfill. In both cases, officials say it's just a way to rip off your credit card numbers or your personal information. So do not respond to the robocalls, hang up, and do not press 1 when prompted to speak to customer support. Vice President Mike Pence talking about the you can get free tickets to the rally, and we have the link to do that on our website. After a nearly 2-year ban, a Brazilian airline became the first to put the Boeing 737 MAX back up in the air. The 737 MAX was grounded around the world last year after 2 deadly crashes that killed 346 people. Brazil is the only country to fly it since then. Here at home, the FAA approved it to fly last month. American Airlines plans to be the first American airline to use it starting December 29th with flights between Miami and New York. The pandemic has kept millions of people stuck at home this year. A lot of them decided to start remodeling. So now Home Depot is getting in on it, expanding its line of of decor. It includes furniture, linens, small kitchen appliances. You can even find towels and wine glasses. It comes as Home Depot and rival Lowe's both saw record growth in online sales. Airlines are not messing around when it comes to wearing a mask. Delta has put nearly 1,700 people on its no-fly list for refusing to wear a mask. All major carriers now require them for passengers. And here's some news you can use for the holidays. Delta is waiving all change fees on international flights, but there's a big catch. Basic economy fares are not included. The airline is also extending its waiver of no change fees for all tickets bought through the end of March. That applies to flights at any time to anywhere. Men are more aggressive drivers compared to women. That is according to a new survey by AAA. According to the Motor Club, men are more likely to speed, tailgate, merge dangerously, and honk at other drivers more so than women. The new survey finds that women admit to some dangerous driving habits of their own, including running red lights. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous. They say to prevent road rage, avoid eye contact, don't make gestures, maintain space around your vehicle, and contact 911 if you need to. During these tough times, we've seen how much complete strangers can really come together and make a difference. So this is an uplifting story. People at this Dairy Queen in Minnesota paid it forward not once or twice, but for 2 straight days. It all started with one customer choosing to pay for the person behind him, and then it happened again and again and again.
Well, the lady pulled up and I said, just to let you know, the gentleman in front of you paid for your order. If you'd like, I can pay it forward and you can pay for the order behind you and we can keep this going. She's like, really? Why would he do that? I said, we just have it every once in a while where somebody will take care of the person behind them and today is your lucky day.
She says past pay-it-forward efforts usually last 15, maybe 20 cars, but this one fed over 900 people and it generated more than $10,000. But that is just the uplifting moment a lot of those people probably needed. Shopping for Dad might be hard this year, but when it comes to gadgets, we've got you covered. We'll show you some tech ideas they may love.
And this morning, we were well below.
Announced the new policy change, which will allow Ohio State to participate in the Big Ten Championship December 19th against Northwestern. With Christmas just a few weeks away, you might be struggling to find the right gift for everyone on your list. I am struggling this year. I don't know why. But for dads, gadgets almost always make good gifts. Jamie Tucker has rounded up a few tech gadgets Dad just might love.
A lot of dads will admit we can be a little geeky, but your dad doesn't have to be a geek to enjoy these tech gadgets. Dads who do outdoor cooking could use one of these meat thermometers. The Thermopin IR is a go-to thermometer that measures not only the internal temperatures of meat, but it has an infrared as well that shows how hot the surface is. It's good for searing steaks on the grill or griddle. It takes just 2 seconds to see an accurate temperature. He won't grill without it. Thermopin IR is $140. One of Amazon's top sellers this holiday season is a connected garage door opener. The MyQ Smart Garage Door Opener works with most belt-driven systems. Add this small unit to the garage door and you'll be able to control the door from an app. Plus, it'll allow for Amazon in-garage deliveries. This Amazon worker opened my door, dropped off the package, closed the door behind them. The MyQ Garage Door Opener is $30, and Amazon makes it free once you schedule a delivery. It doesn't matter how many Bluetooth speakers Dad has. Another one for another room is a welcome gift. There are many to choose from. The Tribit X Sound Go is an Amazon choice and one of the best in its price range. Just $35 right now on Amazon. Yeah, Dad's going to be fine with that coupon book for hugs from the kids, but if you really want to make him happy this holiday, these tech gadgets are right up his alley. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Anytime Jamie tells me a gadget that I should probably need, I do need it. I want that garage cooker. Okay, Riley, outside, we're dealing with a pretty nice afternoon out there.
Definitely so, Laura. Fantastic day again for us. We saw it look cooler.
Still to come, an item helping you flush away 2020. We'll show you where you can buy it.
Is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Apple bringing brand new AirPods just in time for Christmas, but the price tag might be a little out of Santa's reach. The fancy new headphones, the AirPods Max, will be over-the-ear wireless and complete with Siri compatibility. But if you're thinking of grabbing a pair, think long and hard. The cost around $549. Do not lose those. Apple's promising 20 hours of battery life per charge. That's pretty good. Their release is next Tuesday. Okay, Happy Meal lovers, this is not such a happy the announcement. The McDonald's Happy Meal price is going up in 2021. The food chain will not be sending franchises a $300 Happy Meal rent and service fees subsidy next year. So, to offset those costs, the price of a Happy Meal will go up by at least 20 cents. McDonald's officials say the subsidy isn't fueling growth like it used to, but they are looking for other ways to help with costs. If you're like most of us, you probably wish you could just flush 2020 down the drain, and now with this new toilet paper, you can. The toilet company American Standard is rolling out this new toilet paper. It's got phrases of everything wrong with the year printed on the sheets. They've got words like murder hornet and all kinds of stuff, drive-by birthday parties, and you're on mute. Just classic signs of 2020, but you have to go on their website. You can enter to win that toilet paper. AmericanStandard.com will give you the details. All right, Riley, what are we looking at outside?
Looking good out there tonight.
Lose everything in a fire.
Miss Kimberly, we love you, and we thank you, Miss Kimberly. We truly thank you.
How the community has stepped up in a big way. But first tonight, vaccines could be given out in Augusta in just a matter of days. AU Health tells us today it is highly likely the vaccines will start being administered next week.
Sooner than later. Those vaccines would go on to our healthcare workers and people in nursing homes first. Meanwhile, right now, there are more than 150 COVID patients in our local hospitals. I'm going to show you a graph that shows how many people have been in the hospital for COVID each day since October 1st. You can see those numbers are much higher now than they were then. University with 75 COVID patients now, 19 more than a week ago. AU Health has 58 patients, doctors with 24.
University Hospital says just yesterday they discharged 8 COVID patients, but they also got 10 new patients, so filling those beds right back up. Officials there say that's why they're restricting visitors for inpatients, outpatients, and people in the emergency room. There are also specific rules for pregnant families and support persons in place. But hopefully cases and hospitalizations will start to ease up as soon as we introduce some of those vaccines to the community.
And there's actually more to it than that. Brady Travenel hears from University Hospital and AU Health today about another big problem they have to overcome, and that's staffing.
Hospital beds open with no one to take care of the patients. A concerning challenge as University Hospital watches cases rise.
It's not a question of beds. The physical beds are not the question. It's a question of staffing.
Lori Ott with University Hospital says they're victims of a nursing shortage nationwide.
A nursing shortage that was really challenging before the pandemic did not get better during the pandemic.
So they're asking the staff to work extra shifts as our local hospitals prepare to get doses of the Pfizer vaccine, expecting FDA approval tomorrow.
We had heard that Georgia was getting 450,000 doses. We don't have an exact date when we know the vaccines will be in hand.
But University says they'll start with vaccinating their COVID unit staff, while AU Health expects vaccines in arms by next week. In a forum this afternoon, AU said after getting 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, it's 95% less likely to get COVID-19, and there's fewer side effects than a typical flu vaccine. The vaccine also does not contain a live or dead virus. This, as AU says, misinformation is one of their biggest struggles, and travel nurses are keeping beds open in their COVID units. Back at University, they're putting back in place a visitation policy.
We take this decision very seriously, and it's because of the community spread that we felt like this was the measure we could take.
Our hospitals need help from us all.
If there are any nurses out there who would like to come work at University Hospital, we are hiring.
Reporting in Augusta, Brady Troutnell on your side.
And AU said today they expect the phased approach for vaccine distribution will be healthcare workers and long-term care residents, then essential workers, and then adults with high-risk conditions and those 65 and older. And taking a look at statewide COVID cases in Georgia, 3,700 new positives today. COVID cases have increased 62% in the Peach State in the last 7 days. And you can see this is a graph from the Department of Health. The 7-day moving average of cases has shot up recently. You can see this shows us the last spike in July, which is the biggest spike we've seen until this one during the pandemic. It's now the highest it's ever been at 3,900, even higher than that highest point in July. In South Carolina, 2,100 new COVID cases there. That's 6 straight days of at least 2,000 new cases. And you can see on this graph, this is from DHEC, Before this stretch, South Carolina had never even had 2 consecutive days of at least 2,000 new cases, but we have definitely surpassed that July peak in South Carolina as well.
And those spiking case numbers are frustrating for South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster and his team. Today, as they laid out their plan for the COVID vaccine, they also addressed this spike. Dr. Linda Bell with DHEC says a month ago, cases were going down in 35 of 46 counties. Now it's the opposite. Only 6 counties are down.
That I hope we can look back at this point in time right now as our watershed in this pandemic. That it was at this time that we made decisions that resulted in a change of our trajectory and that we did not go back up again.
Dr. Bell says if 95% of South Carolinians wear a mask in the next week, we could save 1,000 lives. As for the vaccine, 200,000 to 300,000 doses are heading to the state in the next few weeks. And just like in Georgia, it's going to be months before everyone gets that shot. Huge news today for our local baseball team. The Green Jackets have been invited to be an affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. Finally, right? The Green Jackets have fed players to the San Francisco Giants for the last 15 years. Sports Director Mike Akachonis is here to tell us what this means for our Green Jackets.
This means a major victory for the team. To have the Major League team be about a 2-hour drive from us here means we're going to get to see the Braves' future before most people even get to hear about the players. This area is a part of great Braves country as well, so when we're able to have baseball again at SRP Park, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw higher attendance numbers at the park too. There are still a few steps that need to be taken, but this is as close to official as we can get without having the contract actually signed. Some of you may be wondering if the team's name is going to change. Don't worry, this team will still be the Green Jackets.
Green Jackets aren't going anywhere. I haven't gotten that name if we're going to change our name to the Braves, but the Green Jackets will be here. I think you'll see some, we've done some homages with the Giants in our partnership over the 15 years with them, and I think as things go along, we'll look at those opportunities, but for now it's so new. We still actually have a few steps in the process to go until it's official, but it's this is an exciting day for the CS area, that's for sure.
And fun fact, when I spoke with Tom earlier, he did mention some steep discounts on Green Jackets gear that has ties to the Giants. But in all seriousness, this was about the best thing that could have happened for the Green Jackets with the minor leagues realignment. The team will still compete in low A, so we'll see players getting their first chance in the big leagues.
Yeah, a great lifeline with the Atlanta Braves. That is great news, certainly, Mike. Thanks. I want to give you a live look now at a big campaign event happening. Senator David Wrdw.
A little bit.
Thanks, Riley. To education now. Virtual students not logging on for weeks at a time. A very big problem in Richmond County schools they're trying to solve.
And with 4 schools right now completely virtual for COVID concerns, it's become a pressing issue. Nick Proto talks to the schools today about how they're handling it.
One of the biggest issues discussed by the Richmond County School Board at their meeting last night was engagement, or rather a lack of engagement. Students are split about 50-50 in terms of virtual and in-person learning, but the grades they got in the first quarter were far from a 50-50 split.
Across the country, school systems are dealing with how to engage students who are disengaged.
That's a problem we're seeing in Richmond County as well. Students who learned in person during the first quarter accounted for more than 4,600 failing grades. Students who learned virtually during the first quarter nearly quadrupled that number, accounting for more than 16,000 failing grades. Keep in mind, that's not the total number of students who failed, just the number of failed grades reported by teachers, but that's still a huge disparity.
Some are doing what they should be doing. Some are off track that just believe that as long as you get your work done, daily work done, that's acceptable.
Ross says the district has no plans to discipline students who aren't engaging virtually by logging into their classes. Instead, they're taking steps with students and their families to figure out what works best. Steps like parent meetings, calling social workers, or a return to instruction process, bringing students who are struggling virtually back to face-to-face learning.
What's most important to us is making sure that our students who are disengaged get re-engaged. We want to make sure that we're able to connect with them, we're able to teach them, we're able to help them be successful in their academic pursuits.
Starting next semester, the district is looking to form cluster academies. Now, those would combine resources from multiple schools, allowing one online teacher to teach kids from multiple schools. The district says this will allow more kids to get back into the classroom safely come January. Reporting in Augusta, Nick Proto on your side.
And the district is not punishing students who haven't been engaged. It's been a tough year. They say they're just trying to get them back on track.
Also this evening, a new place providing help for people who need it. This was the ribbon cutting today for the Peer Recovery and Wellness Center. It's a low-cost option for people struggling with addiction, depression, anxiety. And in 2020, a lot of people need relief from all of that. Sierra Cummings live outside that new center on Central Avenue in Midtown Augusta. And it's good for people to know they have options, right, Sierra?
They do have options. Advocates say lives depend on mental health help, but because of finances, sometimes that doesn't happen. So when this location opens up, they plan to offer most resources at zero cost.
The papers clipped together on Christian Frazier's desk showed the writings on the wall.
We've revived 7 people in the last 7 days.
That's where these walls come into play. Perhaps an answer to addiction recovery, suicide prevention, all things mental health. The former Friendship Community Center will be transformed into a recovery and wellness center.
Meeting people where they're at, asking them what they need, believing them when they say it, and then coming up with solutions.
Its organization, Focus on Recovery, it's just one of the many local mental health groups in support of this new project.
People's lives, people's quality of life depends totally on access to resources.
The Georgia Mental Health Consumer Network is spearheading this, but they say it's going to take a collective effort since resources will be free to the public.
We're going into this situation in Augusta without any state funding. We will definitely be relying on, the goodwill of folks in the community.
With $90 million fewer dollars in state funding for behavioral health programs, with the local opioid task force reporting COVID created a rise in depression and addiction struggles, like tripling local overdoses while leaving a void in human connection.
The need is greater.
The old property on Central Avenue could come at no better time.
Be given some hope that, we can get through this and we can get through it together.
There's still no official date on when this location is open to the public. They're working to finalize some details, and even though more than $90 million was cut from the 2021 budget, the Georgia Mental Health Network says they plan to fight for more funding next time around to create more projects like this one.
And that is good news, certainly an essential service right now. If you know someone struggling with mental health, we do have a list of resources up and running right now on our website. Sierra, thank you.
At least 13 storage units damaged in this fire in Augusta this morning. You can see the heavy smoke rising from that building. Well, the aftermath there. It happened at the storage sense on Bel Air Frontage Road around 4:30 in the morning. There's that smoke. Firefighters were able to get the flames under control in about an hour. The state fire marshal is looking into what caused that fire. And an hour earlier, another fire, this one in Columbia County. This one happened on Crown Heights Way in the Chamberlain Ridge neighborhood, right across from Columbia Middle School. 5 people were inside when that fire started, but they all made it out okay. The state fire marshal is also investigating this fire.
And deputies are asking for your help tonight to find a couple of missing people from Augusta. Richmond County deputies say Kamea Green hasn't been seen for 10 days now. That was on Sunday, November the 29th, at a home on Piedmont Street in South Augusta. Deputies say she's known to be in the Ellis Street and East Boundary area apartments. They say she could be with several other runaway kids from those areas. And this man has been missing for 2 years. Richmond County deputies say 32-year-old Tyrone Hughes has not been heard from since December 2018. We're told he did not have a permanent home address then, and he was known to hang around the Bonaire Apartments and the Greenway Drive near the Augusta Mall. Call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office if you have any information about either of these missing people.
A suspect on the run tonight after a high-speed chase in Aiken County today. We're told officers tried to pull the driver over, but they didn't stop. Officers chased the suspect along Columbia Highway North for about 6 miles from I-20 to Crosland Park, reaching high speeds. The driver then ditched the car around Crosland Park, took off running. That all happened around 11 this morning. The Aiken County Sheriff's Office and Aiken Department of Public Safety are both working to try to find that suspect.
It's going to be a cold night, just not quite as cold as what we've...
And a woman, here's the story of a local family who lost everything and just knew she had to help.
My heart is bursting with joy and happiness for her, that her and her children are going to have a very Merry Christmas.
What she did for that family of 8 kids coming up in 60 seconds.
Approve this message.
Devastation for a mom and her 8 kids after they lost everything in this fire. But now our community has stepped up to help in a big way. Will Rio live on Walker Street where their house used to be. So Will, what do the family have to say about all the donations pouring in?
Well, Laura, they say they are extremely grateful after what happened right behind me to the Dixon family's home. And they've been staying at a hotel room across town for a few weeks now. And now, for the first time today, they met the woman that's helping them out in a major way.
I'm just so grateful. Thank you. I'm just so happy.
In the parking lot of the Red Roof Inn on Washington Road, two strangers met for the first time.
I'm feeling very emotional, like I'm happy, relieved, like all different type of emotions right now.
After Trinae Dixon's home burned down, she was forced to live in this hotel room with her 8 kids.
Oh, it has been very difficult. We wasn't even looking forward to Christmas until I received the phone call on yesterday.
A phone call telling her a woman she didn't even know, Kimberly Moreno, nominated Dixon's family for the Kicks 99 Christmas Wish program.
She was the first person I thought of. And I don't know her or her family or children, but I felt compelled to reach out.
The program picks 10 families in need so people can donate money to help. So far, they've raised $640. The goal was only $500.
They had a lady call in and donate $200 right off the bat. Then they had another lady call in and ask the sizes of the children.
Moreno said it was a 1 in a million shot that paid off.
I told them that that was the best Christmas present that I could receive, that she and her children were going to have a blessed Christmas.
The family saying thank you to a random stranger for helping during a difficult time.
Good morning, Miss Kimberly. We can't wait to meet you. Thank you for helping our family.
Now, the family will get a $100 gift card, a $200 Christmas meal, and a wagon full of toys for all the kids. And on Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., Kicks 99 will have a drive-through event where you can come donate toys, clothes, or other items for the families in need. Trinae says that she will be there with her 8 children. Laura?
That is what the holidays are all about, and this community always knows how to step up, and we'll put the information on that drive-through donation on our website so people can help. Will, thank you.
Well, have you been downtown lately? Augusta is really in the holiday spirit this year more than ever. These are live pictures coming into us from downtown. You can see the Christmas lights and decorations as we widen out here. And believe it or not, these were actually put up and sponsored by Netflix.
Wow, that is really cool. And we are one of 6 cities Netflix chose to come and decorate for the holidays. They said they reached out to several cities, but we were one of the ones who responded with high interest. And you can see this is the payoff. They were out there putting those up today. So yeah, stop by, take a look, take a picture.
It's definitely worth the ride downtown to see this display because it's a lot brighter than in any other, a lot of other years put together. But a lot of people are out tonight and enjoying the cool night air, Riley, and I guess they're bundled up for it too.
Definitely so. Hey, it's working. Tough to see that many people downtown in a while, so good to see that these lights are actually bringing people back to our downtown. And here's a view from it from Broad Street and 7th, and I think that may be where all those lights are, kind of being blocked by that monument right there. But it is a beautiful night. We're expecting clear skies.